welcome back to Funny Bunny, and for this video we are going to be doing a what you need when you get a rabbit video slash what you need for a rabbit slash what you need before you get a rabbit. Really not sure how I'm going to title this video yet, but it's one of those three. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. So the first thing that you're going to need is some form or fashion of a cage accommodation wherever you're going to keep your rabbit in the beginning. Even if you choose to free roam your rabbit later, having a cage in the beginning is ideal. Now, first of all, let's go over some good cages. Some great cages are some DIY cages, X-Pens, CNC cages, NIC cages, DIY cages. Those are all great options, and you can find a lot of them on Pinterest or go on Google and look for some DIY cages, and the options are endless for DIY cages, or you can have one made and purchase it. Now for outdoor cages, PVC pipe runs are very good. Wood ones don't last as long in my opinion, and usually bugs will tend to infest them sooner than the PVC pipe ones, but there is a large variety of outdoor runs for rabbits. Most of the cages in the pet stores are way too small, so I would suggest that you guys avoid that one and avoid any small or tight-spaced hutches, because that is going to be really bad for your rabbit's health in general, because rabbits need to stay moving to keep their gut moving. So I would suggest that you avoid any smaller sized pet store cages and rabbit hutches that are too small. The next item on the checklist is bedding. You are definitely going to need some sort of substrate, even if you choose to use fleece, which is one of our options. There is fleece, Yesterday's News, Carefresh, KT Clean and Cozy. There's also horse stall bedding, however you pronounce it. And these are all absolutely great options. I've noticed that most people tend to go with the pelleted bedding for the litter boxes in the rabbits' cages because it traps a lot of the odors and it makes the litter box stink a lot less. And I would recommend going with fleece as for like cages if you are choosing to have your rabbit indoors, because it is a lot easier to clean and it's reusable, so it's a lot cheaper as well. All in all, the bedding that you choose to use for your pet, it depends on your preference and your pet's preference, because some rabbits may or may not like fleece, and some rabbits may or not be able to use fleece because some of them will chew on it, and some will try to eat Yesterday's News, or it ultimately just depends on the rabbit. The next thing on our checklist is water bottle or water dish. Now this is a common question in the rabbit community, is do I use a water bottle or do I use a water bowl? Now both of them are actually acceptable. A lot of people are constantly fighting about which one is better, which one is worse, and personally I just like to let the rabbit choose, so I will put both in the cages. And there are multiple options for water bowls and water bottles, a lot of different variety. If you do decide to use a water bowl, which I suggest that you do, you should use a heavier ceramic one or a flow waterer. I don't exactly know what they're called, but basically it lets an endless supply of water flow out, because they are heavier and harder for your rabbit to tip over, thus eliminating a big pile of mess that you'd have to clean up. The next thing on our checklist is the food dish. So some people choose to scatter feed and some people don't feed pellets, but even for veggies, you might prefer to have a bowl for your rabbit's food. So you would probably want to go with a ceramic one or a heavier one so that your rabbit can't tip it over and make a big mess. And obviously, because rabbits need to eat, veggies and pellets are next on our checklist. So there are a lot of different brands of pellets that you can feed, but you should make sure that it's Timothy Hay based pellets. And as for how much, you should just make sure that about 5% of your rabbit's diet is pellets. Unless they are a baby, then you should feed them more than you would an adult rabbit. 80% hay. Grass hay is very important in your rabbit's diet. It's going to help keep their teeth trimmed down, and it's also going to help keep their gut moving, and it's going to help so much for their health, and it is very important that you feed your rabbit hay. Be sure to read the ingredients label on your rabbit's food and make sure that these items are each met to the requirement. next item on our list is hay. Yes, we just talked about that, but this is also hay racks. So you should make sure to feed your rabbit grass hay. There's meadow hay, orchard grass, and there's also Timothy hay. If you have a younger rabbit, you should feed them alfalfa. So you should provide a hay rack for your rabbit because it just makes it a lot cleaner and a lot neater for your rabbit, and it keeps the poop and the pee out of the hay. There are a lot of choices when it comes to a hay rack for your rabbit. Most of the ones that you find in the store are too small and don't hold enough hay because rabbits need to have at least 80% of their diet be hay. They should have hay 24/7 available to them, 365 all day long. So there are a lot of different hay racks. I personally like the DIY ones the most because they hold a lot. And let's also take a moment to talk about the litter box because I forgot to put it on the checklist. So litter boxes come in many shapes and sizes. There are so many choices when it comes to a litter box, and pretty much none of them are wrong, but the main thing is you need to make sure that your rabbit can turn around comfortably in their litter box. So you should always keep your rabbit's hay near their litter box, above it, in it, just very near it, because rabbits will eat their hay while they poop in their litter box. So it makes more sense to put their hay near their litter box so that you can control where their poop is. So there are a lot of different options for a litter box. As you can see here on the screen, there is a plastic storage tote one, and rabbits can use those ones very easily. You just need to make sure that the sides are big enough so that they can't flick their litter out. And then there are also the options of using a cat litter box. You should never use cat litter in your rabbit's litter box, but there is the option to use a cat litter box for your rabbit. Another thing on our checklist is chews. So rabbits need something to keep their teeth down and to keep from getting bored. So here are lists of toxic woods for rabbits and safe wood for rabbits. So you can go ahead and pause the screen so that you can read this easier, and just in a minute it's going to scroll down the list. If you're a fast reader, you can try and read it. The next thing on the checklist are toys. So your rabbit is going to need something so that they won't get bored. And some people say that toys are optional. Personally, I don't say that toys are optional. But there are a lot of different toys that you can give your rabbit. There's DIY ones, there's store-bought ones, there's wooden ones, and pine cones are also a great option for your rabbit. The next thing on our checklist is treats. This is going to help you a lot with the bonding process when you first get your rabbit. And I like to just use fresh fruits as treats. And there are a lot of different fruits that rabbits can and cannot have. So go ahead and look over these lists, and you can even pause it to read them. So I forgot to put some things on this list, so even though it looks like we're complete, we are actually not. So let's go over the rest of the list. Even though the list looks like it's complete, it's totally not complete because I forgot to put on some things. Something you're definitely going to need are grooming supplies, because rabbits do shed and you're going to need to brush them so they don't get a blockage. A lot of different brushes that you can use for your rabbit's fur. Obviously, the brush that you choose is going to have to depend on what type of fur your rabbit has. Another thing I forgot to put on the list are nail trimmers. Your rabbit is going to need their nail trimmed, and if you're too nervous about hitting the click, then you can ask your vet to do this. But there are a lot of different nail clippers. There's cat ones, dog ones. There's a lot of variety, and it ultimately depends on which one you're comfortable using. again, I forgot to put this one on the list as well. So here it is. You're going to need a carrier to bring your rabbit home in. I highly recommend you use a hard-sided one so that the fabric sides will not collapse in on your rabbit. It is very stressful when you take your rabbit home for the first time for the rabbit. So having a secure carrier with a towel or a blanket in it to cuddle up in is ultimately best. Another thing I forgot to put on the list is Pet Safe Cleaner. Now, a lot of people swear by this one. I personally use it. It's just a vinegar water solution. You can even just use straight vinegar as long as you rinse it afterwards. Even if you choose to use fleece, you're still going to need something to clean your rabbit's litter box with. And I highly recommend this one because it helps to eliminate odors and remove the stains. So there we have it. Now our checklist is complete. I'm sorry I forgot to put a few of those things on the checklist, but now we are all done. Thank you everyone so much for watching. It means a lot to me that you decided to click on my video amongst the millions of other videos like it. Thank you for watching, and I really hope that this video was helpful and that you enjoyed. Don't forget to voice your kind opinions down below in the comments. Hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to make sure that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Let's try and get this video to 15 thumbs up. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye!